One of Maryland's key economic engines is the Helen Delic Bentley Port of Baltimore, handling more than $50 billion in cargo annually. Indeed, the Port of Baltimore continued its solid growth trend into 2015, thanks in part to the talented team at Moran Towing. Great rail connections and outstanding container berth productivity help make the Port of Baltimore very attractive to the more than 50 ocean carriers it serves, making over 1,800 annual visits. Each of these ships need to dock, and to dock safely, which is where Moran Towing tugboats play a vital role. Moran Towing was originally founded as a small towing company in New York Harbor more than 150 years ago. With acquisitions like Baltimore's Curtis Bay Towing in 1957 and other firms along the way, Moran is preeminent in the maritime towing industry. Moran's success traces to its long-standing reputation for safe and efficient service achieved through a combination of first-rate people and outstanding vessels. The company has an impeccable safety record, reporting over 3,000 days without injury, virtually unheard of in the industry. Over 90% of ships coming into Maryland are foreign-owned, filled with roll-on, roll-off cargo, or commodities like salt coming in from Latin America, or coal going out to Europe, India, and China. Typically, these ships call the Baltimore Maritime Exchange when they are 2 to 3 days out, and the Maryland pilots arrange for boarding. Tugs are then called in to help maneuver the ships into their berths, with Moran's higher horsepower tractor tugs often called to handle the deep ships. Paul shared the analogy that 25 years ago we had 400 chimps calling on the Port of Baltimore. Today, we handle the same cargo with 5 gorilla ships. The influx of gorillas will be even greater with the expansion of the Panama Canal, slated for completion in 2016. Today, Baltimore, with the help of Moran Towing, is one of the only 2 ports on the East Coast ready to handle these larger post-Panamax ships. Additionally, as the coal industry contracts in favor of liquefied natural gas, Moran, as a proven provider of tugboat services to LNG terminals, is poised to service the LNG business. Paul Swensen entered the maritime world in 1976 as a dispatcher in the Baltimore office. He was subsequently promoted to sales rep, then GM, and then VP of Moran in 1988. Prior to joining Moran, Paul sailed as mate and relief captain aboard coastwise and ocean-going tugboats. He is a graduate of the National River Academy and served in the U.S. Coast Guard Reserve. He is past president of the Propeller Club of Baltimore, on the board of Sail Baltimore, and active with the Port Fest alongside the Port of Baltimore, Bain Brothers, and the Association of Maryland Pilots. According to Captain Eric Nielsen, president of the Association of Maryland Pilots, Paul Swensen is a longtime leader in the Port of Baltimore. He has a very strong sense of philanthropy and has given a tremendous amount of his time and generous donations to various port nonprofits.